Oh, well, I guess we didn't talk about this. This is kind of cool. James Clear just launched an app yesterday, which I think was the stimulus for this whole thing that we didn't talk about.
Andrew Wilkinson, he put out this tweet where he said, we partnered with James Clear. Tiny owns 40%. James owns 60%. We made this app. I actually didn't look at the app. It's a productivity app or a habit tracking app.
Yeah. What if it was just something completely different? It's just a social media app, just a network. It's like a photo sharing app by James Clear.
Just some like stupid game. It's like they recreated like Snake from Nokia.
That's so funny. I don't know. By the way, okay, so let's talk about a couple things here. Great idea to release a habits app. You want an app to be habit forming. Literally, that's like only successful apps are ones that you use habitually. So creating a habits app is a good idea. There's habits apps, but they're not made by James Clear. So I think this is like no brainer idea.
He could just created anything that was a habit, like just like some supplement or drug. Like, I'm going to get you addicted. We're going to make this habit.
Watch this.
We're going to call it crack.
So I think genius idea by him, maybe doubly genius idea by Andrew to pull this off. I think it's amazing what he's doing. He's done this now with Huberman. So he launched the yerba mate drink with Huberman, which I think is also a genius idea. I think what Andrew's doing now is the new playbook of what Chernin did. Remember I was saying like Chernon's playbook with the content to commerce. They did it with Barstool. They did it with Eater. They did it with like a bunch of these media publications. That was a really good model, and it's played out over the last 10 years. I think what Andrew's doing now is going to play out over the next 10 years, which is he's partnering with these experts and authorities. And he's like, look, I already have MetaLab that can do the design, the engineering. I own a portfolio of businesses. I've made $1 billion doing this whole thing. So let me find a CEO. We'll build the whole thing. You just have to promote it, and it's a perfect fit with what you do. I think it's just like such a good model. It's also really fun for him, right? Because he's going to get to hang out and rub shoulders with people who he likes and respects. He's got like a cool cocktail story of being like, oh yeah, we built the James Clear app. We did the Huberman drink. We did the whatever, right? They've done a bunch of these apps now. So I just think it's an awesome win all around. Like I'm really happy for her.
We should have Andrew on to talk about it. But my prediction is that this won't make nearly as much money as some of his other boring things that no one would ever talk about. But it's cooler than all of the other ones. Like it's significantly cooler. It won't make as much money, but it's way cooler. Like to be able to like.
I think this thing's going to make a lot of money. Why do you think this is not going to make money?
Well, I just think that it's his other stuff just does so much better. If I had to guess, I think
if Calm can do like hundreds of millions on meditation, I'm pretty sure that you can get like 30-40 million of ARR on a habit app.
I think maybe you can, but Andrew also owns all these boring agencies that are like the 1,000th most popular agency, and they also make many tens of millions a year in profit.
No. If you add them all up, they do, but each individually does not, right?
Like, if you add them all up, they do. His agency.
If you add up what he's going to do with Huberman, with James Clear, and the next 5 that he's going to do like this, those are going to add up to be much bigger. The Huberman drink is a brilliant idea. That is a absolutely brilliant idea. The James Clear app, like he's getting the right type of things. Like you don't want necessarily the A-list celebrity, because the A-list celebrity, for every, George Clooney or Ryan Reynolds that you get that have a hit, there's tons of others that they don't really care about promoting it. They're too busy, but it's not a fit. They don't have like a direct relationship with their audience because they're actually in Hollywood. They're not like have a direct channel through social media. And so the people that he's finding are like, this is meaningful for them. It's a perfect fit with them. They have a direct relationship with their audience, and they haven't like, they have like love from their audience. It's not just like people who are fans of them. It's people who have deep trust in them. And I think that is I think he's picking the right influencers to do these. I would bet that he's going to make hundreds of millions off of these plays. If you add up the 3 to 5 that he's going to do in this category, I would bet that that's a like a $300 million prize.
I guess we'll have to have him on and ask him about it. He's like a spider, man. Or like an octopus. He has his tentacles like all over the place. I see this. I'm like, how the fuck did you weasel your way into that thing? Like he just like he knows everything. Like he not knows everything. He knows everyone. I don't know how he gets his fingers on all these things. I'll be like,
check your email.
I'll be like, hey,
where's our email? We're influencers, Andrew. Where you at?
Well,
where's our offer?
He also plays dumb with me all the time. I go, like, I'd probably be like, hey, have you heard of this guy named Huberman? I've been loving his podcast. And Wilkinson will be like, yeah, I think it's a nice podcast. I also enjoy it. And then like weeks later, be like, yeah, we partnered with him and launched this
Yeah,
company.
but we're
and
on this
did
deal
and
for
that."
18 months.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, like he does that. He does like kind of on a regular basis with me where I'll be like, have you heard of this thing? It's kind of neat. And I'll be like, yeah, I agree. That is neat.
He is a super networker. He is a absolutely like incredible networker. I admire his networking skills. Like he's like, cool. I like Bill Ackman. Now I'm friends with Bill Ackman and he's an investor in my company. Oh, Charlie Munger's my hero. Years later, I'm having dinner with Charlie Munger and he's offering me, XYZ. It's like he is really able to, when he puts his mind to it with who he wants to meet, he is able to make that shit happen. And I think he does it in a way that's mutually beneficial. It's not like, most people when they're like, oh, I want to meet this person, it's like just begging for time or attention in a way that's not additive to the other person. I think he does it in a good way that's additive to the other person.
Yeah, he's fascinating in the way that he's able to, but he also turns a weird networking opportunity into like real businesses. Like usually more often than not, when I meet people, I'm like, that was nice to meet you. I'll see you never again.
Yeah. This is awesome, right? High five. Yeah. And that's like where my brain stops.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I'm literally
exactly how I
Dumb and Dumber when he's walking out of the 7-Eleven, he's like, big gulps, huh? Yeah. All right, catch you later. That's me at every networking event.
Same. That's exactly how I am, where it starts and ends right there. And it's just like a passing memory. And yes, Andrew somehow like makes it into money and turns it into dollars. I don't know how he does it, but he's very good at it.
He told one story on the pod where he was like, I wanted to meet Dan Gilbert. I met Dan Gilbert. And then they had this challenge with this, or he had a product. I have a design agency. So we just made him a website for free. That was really nice. Because he used that as his currency to hey, I think you're awesome. And we did this thing. This is awesome, right? Oh, it's because my agency's awesome. Because I'm awesome. And he just uses it to sort of like open the door. He'll put in the work basically. And he'd be like, oh, whenever you're free, I'll fly there and let's, I'll meet you. I'll make the effort to come make this happen.
The takeaway is to have an agency. To either have like an agency or like a sick house. It's like, oh, you're in town, come stay in my home. And then,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to have like some like awesome excuse.
Dude, should I do that? Anytime someone's traveling, like, oh, do you want to stay in my house? And I just rent an Airbnb that they can stay in. They're just absolutely indebted to me.
Well, it's kind of a good tactic. Chris Sacca said that he had this house in Truckee and, he would like lure, which sounds weird,